All right, we're going to move into some step safety. And you'll see I have the BOSU out as well. Stands for both sides up, in case you didn't know. So you can do that with the dome up, or you can flip it over. For step classes, if you have someone who is very advanced in step, you could try to do some of the routine on the BOSU. In some of the studios out near me, we do some BOSU classes. But you have to also know when not to be on the BOSU, because it's not necessary to be on the BOSU the whole time. So it might go between a low intensity workout on the ground and maybe a higher intensity workout on the BOSU. Same choreography, all right? As we incorporate the step today, you're going to be doing the same thing. Kickboxing, same thing. You can take this general format, that's why we teach it to you. You can take it and incorporate a step, a BOSU, some kickboxing. All right, so these are just the basic moves you need to be successful moving forward in your fitness career and generating that class popularity, okay? Safety. There's different kinds of steps out there. Some of them have the risers, these do not. But the first thing you're gonna look at is check them out. Does it have all the little safety guys on here? This is gonna stop you from sliding on the ground. Yep, you're good. So if you have those, if you have more than one step, make sure that it's secured on top. So the steps that do have the risers on both sides, I almost always go around before class starts in my smaller classes, and I'll give it a little shake, make sure it's snug. And people will always come up to you, is this set up, is this safe? Okay? All right. The level. For your beginner, you want the step height to be about 4 inches. Music speed should be between 118 and 122. And this is your very new to exercise beginner. Once they've been coming to class a little bit, you might go 6 inches or higher for their step. And you might be able to go up to 124 beats per minute. Intermediate is an 8-inch step at 126 beats per minute. Advanced is a 10-inch step, which is more like what you have, Sharon, because you've been stepping a lot, right? Yeah, you're so advanced. You can be at about 128 beats per minute. Now, you're going to have a range in class from beginner to advanced. And what you're just going to say is, you know, if you're a beginner, you can do some of this off the step. That's okay. If we get to some of the more advanced stuff and you want to hang out around the step, that's fine. Don't worry about doing pivot turns. Don't worry about doing any of the more complex choreography. You can wait until you learn that. And maybe you meet that person 5 minutes before class next time and show them a new move here and there. They truly appreciate it. Okay? Now, 128 beats per minute is not that fast, right? Because we want to make sure that we have a safe environment. But with this step, the step advances the routine. So your heart rate's going to go higher because you're stepping up onto this guy. Okay. So we've checked to make sure the platform and risers rest securely on top of one another. We're not elevating the platform higher than 90 degrees to the knee. So that means I don't want to be up here. That's not necessary. Okay? And your hip flexors can get very, very sore and tight from that. Make sure that there's at least 3 feet of clearance in all directions surrounding the step, because we might go up and over. So you might end up going like this, right? So make sure that it's safe. Step completely onto the center of the platform. You're going to say this over and over in your class. Get your heel onto the platform. People are always like, yeah, we're working out. Like, yeah, you're going to hurt your knees. So, you know, just say, no, I don't want you to have your toe on the platform. It's safer to have the full foot on the platform. And they'll say, well, I don't understand. That's not the way I go up the stairs. And you'll say, well, you know, you do have knee issues, or maybe you're developing a knee issue. It's really important that even when you go upstairs, you try to step with a full heel. So it's really going to help strengthen your butt your quad, and your hamstrings. It's going to take that pressure off the kneecap. Okay, when people are toe happy, same thing with a lunge. When you're toe happy on your lunge, it's so much tension right there. You don't want that. Step onto the step with a full body lean. Okay, abs are in. You've driven through. Feel the difference? Leaning onto the step. Extend the knees at the top of the step, which you've all just done. Step off close to the step. And then the last thing, do not stomp on the land or the hard floor. Maintain an erect spine, lifted chest, and relaxed shoulders, and make sure that you're breathing rhythmically. Okay. And you, in the front of the class, exaggerate it. You are in front of them. They're going to copy what you do. Exaggerate that chest lift, okay? There is sample choreography in your textbook, I believe. Yep, table 8.3. And we're going to go over some of these basic steps right now, okay? I'm just going to hold this so I can go through. Basic step. Up and down. Your feet are going up full onto the step. Heel is being placed on the step. Abs are in, shoulders are down and back, chest is lifted, and we're feeling good, right? All right, we're going to switch this to a V step. Step to the corner. Step. If you want arms, complementary arms, that's what that is. Stepping with the right, you're moving your right arm. All right, you're good. From here, tap up and down. Tap. Okay, from here, lift up, switch feet, and reach. So you're lifting from the butt extension or hip extension, getting a little shoulder raise, right? How are we feeling? All right, let's make these steps a little lighter. Ah, nice. All right, let's take that into, instead of a butt lift, knee, knee. Good. I'll have you guys keep moving your arms. Okay, what if we went up and over the top? From here, so it gives you the direction. You can do all of these moves. We're going to go up and over. I might say, as a transition, stay on top and march. Okay, straddle down, down. Okay, so this is an A stride here. You can also go into some jumps if you want to make a power move, make it higher intensity, right? So you're up. You might have them hold it here, right? Maybe you start with just a couple squats. Okay, for those of you who feel comfortable, let's jump down. Here we go, down, jump, right. Push the butt back. Land on the heels. Land on the heels. Good. For those of you who do not feel comfortable, you can stay with that A stride. And I usually say that first. I would say, if you're comfortable here, stay here. If you want something more, let's go into a power squat. Or they call it straddle up and straddle down. Let's see. We can come up and over, corner to corner. So if we're doing that, I'm going to face the wall. I'm going to step with my left foot, turning it toward the mirror, up with the right foot, down with the left, tap. So it's right, left, right, tap, left, right, left, tap. So a transitional move from here might be over the top. Good, you guys all got that. Okay, so you're here. Let's go back to corner. Up. Nice work, ladies. Do you feel how that flows? Okay, rest for 1 second. Make sure I've gone over nearly everything. Okay, our A step, you can do that straddling, and you can come up and down. So notice how we're using every single angle of the step. I'm not going to go over the pivot turns over the step because they are a little more complex, and I want you guys to, you'd have to practice cueing that a lot. But you can certainly incorporate it. It is shown on your video, the DVD. So again, you can incorporate all the moves that we've done, and we're going to kind of choreograph something right now together for that, okay? All right. Oh, I forgot one more. Sorry, the repeater, because we'll use that. So a repeater is when you're stepping up, and it's kind of like the cha-cha. You're stepping up across, and then you lift your leg 3 times. 2, 1, and then you step back, switch sides. 4, 3, 2, and 1. 4, 3, 2, step down. You guys feel that? Okay. All right. Let me put on the correct beats per minute. Anyone remember what it is? 128 max. So 118 to 128.